Hey folks, welcome back to the channel, and we're going to talk about the Chase Freedom Flex. I'm sure you've seen Adam Jessica's video over at Proud Money about Chase pulling the Freedom Flex unexpectedly in the middle of the day yesterday. We also had Sledge from Sledge Inc. team cover it, and Philip from Philip's Points and Travel. Apologies for any stuttering or slurring of channel names. It's 2 o'clock in the morning, and when I'm recording this, we just recorded Stack Your Points for the week, and I just wanted to get thoughts on this out, and we're going to put this out when we put it out tomorrow. So my apologies if I sound a little tired. Now, Freedom Flex apparently has been pulled. It's been pulled from the Chase regular website. It's been pulled from the Chase MasterCard website. It's been pulled from the Chase Freedom website. Now, there are applications still available through referral links, and that's going to show the $200 back on $500 in spend in the first 3 months of holding the card. But effectively, the Freedom Flex is no longer available for application. Now, we've got Daniel the Deal Guru covering this. It was also highlighted on Reddit. Chase has removed the Freedom Flex from its website and is no longer available for applications. Direct link to the card now redirects you to Chase Credit Card's website. The card's still listed on the Freedom Cards page. However, there's no application link, and you can only activate the 5% quarterly bonuses through this page. Furthermore, the card is no longer a downgrade option for those looking to product change for Sapphire Preferred or for Sapphire Reserves, and it's not clear if there's a refresh coming or if the card will be discontinued. It doesn't seem like a temporary glitch to Danny. For now, the card is still available through referral links, and there's the tell us what you think. Here's what I'm aware of at the moment, at the time of recording. 1, surveys went out in the past couple of months about both the Freedom Flex and the Freedom Unlimited. I've been made aware of at least one survey about the Freedom Flex. I'm not going to disclose too much about it or the contents of that survey at this time, just because I don't want this viewer mad at me. But there were options presented about a new Freedom Flex. The first of which that I read was interesting in a keeping it mostly the same, but with a new twist. There was one where it would take on the City Custom Cash and do worse at doing that. There was one where it would take on the City Custom Cash and have an interesting extra. And then there was one that looked like the big apology for here's categories that you've always wanted, and go from there. So I don't know exactly what's happening with the Freedom Flex at the moment. My first inkling would be it is a refresh of the card. We're going to see new categories. We're going to see Chase potentially, and I don't know anything for a fact, potentially look into grabbing some of the categories that it doesn't offer primarily. Potentially. Don't know for a fact. So I think a refresh is coming. Now, the other option that was presented in one of the Discords tonight was Chase could be moving the Freedom Flex off of the MasterCard network. All of the other MasterCards are highlighted. That's the Aeroplan card, all of the IHG cards, the Instacart card, which is no longer publicly available for application, and the DoorDash card. So all of those are still staying, but the Freedom cards are all Chase cards. The Sapphire cards, the Freedom cards are all Visas. The Sapphires are all Visas. That would stand, and all of the inks are all Visas. So it would stand to reason that Chase could be moving the Flex away from MasterCard, because when they launched it 4 years ago, I don't know how long of a contract they had with MasterCard, but when they launched it in 2020, 2021, it was interesting that they were launching a core ultimate reward earning card as a MasterCard. So it could stand to reason that part of the refresh is it moves back to Visa. But what the categories are going to be, I don't know. There's also the possibility that the Flex could be taken off the market temporarily and brought back as a new Sapphire card to come in underneath a Sapphire Preferred refresh, or maybe it's a Freedom card that's going to gain an annual fee. I doubt that completely. And one of the things that was being mentioned online was folks were claiming that they were talking to Chase service representatives, and the service representatives were saying, yeah, the Freedom Flex is no longer going to be publicly available via the website. You have to come in branch to sign up for it. That's stupid. And then there was somebody who was claiming that for the month of July, they're turning off applications online. You can come in branch, and you should expect to see it come back in August. But lo and behold, nothing's happening with the Sapphire Preferred. Like, this this customer service representative was going out of their way to tell you that nothing was happening to the Sapphire Preferred. Don't mind the man behind the curtain, please. And why would you take down the application process for one freedom and not do all of the freedoms? Freedom Rise doesn't need anything anytime soon. It is a simple 1.5% cashback card. Freedom Unlimited is exactly like the Freedom Flex, except the Flex has the 5x rotating categories and the Freedom Unlimited has the 1.5x base. So why would that get to stay, but Freedom Flex, doesn't? Like, none of this is adding up. So what we know is something's very definitely happening with the Chase Freedom Flex. Yeah, that's my new Freedom Flex, by the way. Got it for a quick $500 spend. Welcome offer. I've already got the points. I plan on converting that card into a Sapphire Preferred, assuming the Sapphire Preferred is a decent card next year. Or maybe we see what this refreshed Freedom Flex looks like. I don't know. But what we know is nothing. That's the hilarious part. Chase just did this in the middle of the day. No explanation, no press release, no nothing. Just took it off the website and they're letting the internet run wild. I give companies a ton of crap for this because it does not help your customers. It does not help your perception from your customers to just pull a card, popular as it is, and popular as I disbelieve that it is, or am dumbfounded by how popular it is. You don't just pull the card and just say nothing, right? Something should have been communicated at some point. And I know it's a short holiday week. 9 a.m. press release drops. Chase Freedom Flex to be taken off of applications for 30 days for, I don't know, needing to find a leprechaun. Just something, anything is better than it disappeared at 3 o'clock and we don't know why. Yeah, bad form, Chase. Don't do that. You're acting like Built. That's not a good that's not a good way to act. And I want to see some sort of explanation for it. We're not going to get one, which is annoying, but something better than calling customer service and not being given any sort of idea what's happening. You just did a whole thing about the relaunch of the Sapphire Reserve. You know what you end your show with when you do that refresh and you have that presentation? And we can't wait to tell you about the new Freedom Flex. Drop the mic, walk off stage. Now everybody's primed with, oh, they're updating the Freedom Flex. Or you say a new code word right at the end and then you walk away. Now that is the pressing question. That at least would be like marketing 101. This is marketing 50 for dummies. Like this, don't do this. And for the second week in a row, Chase has decided to just do, I don't know, corporate malpractice. First was your Sapphire Reserve cardholders who hold the card have to wait until October for their new benefits to kick in. That's dumb. Second is just pulling a card randomly in the middle of the day with no explanation and not having your CSRs your customer service representatives trained, not giving any sort of notice to your customers, not even going online on any social media and just saying, hey, this is what's happening. So bad form, Chase. And if you're updating the card, hey, great. At least give us something to work off of. Not, it went dark and we don't know why. Yeah. Because it seems like everyone at the company doesn't know why either. And that's bad. We'll see. But Freedom Flex, I would bet on a refresh. I have seen questions that were asked on a Freedom Flex survey that was relatively recent. I do think we're going to see a change of multipliers. It depends on what flavor change of multipliers they come down on. There are some that are pretty intriguing and rather exciting. There are some that leave me going, why would you do this? So hopefully they go with the ones that are intriguing to me, because I would like this card to not be bad. But that's going to do it for this one. If you like what I do, hit the subscribe button down below. Check me out on the Stack Your Points podcast. We launch a show on Wednesdays and Fridays here on YouTube. We have a live on Thursday nights at 8:30. Check out my Ko-fi and Buy Me a Coffee down in the pinned comment. Check out my Rove Miles link down there as well. My link tree, I've got to update because now I've got a Freedom Flex and update my referrals. Although you can't apply for the Freedom Flex at the moment, so why bother? But check that out. And if you really want to do, consider supporting me here on YouTube. $2.99 a month. You can cancel at any time. 2 videos are going to pop up here. Thanks so much for your time. Talk to you soon. Bye for now.